organized?
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, I'll do the intro, right? When we come back, then we can talk about the 5,000 subscribers, and then you can do number 1. I'll do 2, 3, 5.
Are we going 5 down to 1?
Yeah, that's what I mean. So 5, 4, 3, 2, and then you got 1.
Okay.
So you got 5, 3, and 1.
Okay.
You got,
Who are you?
We're the Monster Squad.
Sadly, it tanked, making only $3.8 million on a $12 million budget. Fortunately for the film and its fans, cable TV was still fairly new, and the Monster Squad would play on repeat fairly often, allowing the film to finally find its audience. Here are 5 things about the Monster Squad that you may never have,
or probably,
heard of.
Number 5. The Monster Squad's monsters were originally going to be recreated in the likeness of the Universal monsters with their blessing. However, after initially granting them permission, Universal Studios would block the recreation of the monsters for the film. This is why Frankenstein's monster has bolts protruding from his forehead rather than his neck, and why the creature is referred to as Gillman.
As a kid, that was one of the things that kind of stuck out for me. Like, I was super excited for this film when it came to VHS. I actually remember the ads for it being in the theaters. I didn't get to see it in the theaters. But when it came out, it's like, oh, that doesn't kind of look like Frankenstein or the Wolfman. The Gillman and the Mummy were perfectly fine. Dracula was okay, but the other two was like, eh.
Yeah, so I never knew this story. I think that's really shitty of Universal Studios, by the way. But I never knew that story, and honestly, I never questioned why the bolts were protruding from his forehead. Even as an adult, I never questioned it. I guess I just assumed that was the way it was supposed to be, right? Not the real Frankenstein. Obviously, I know, but I guess I just assumed that because this was, a quirky movie about these monsters, that it was just supposed to be that way. Kind of like how they called the creature Gillman.
Scary.
Number 4.
Liam Neeson. Yes, the taken Liam Neeson.
Wake up! I need you to be focused.
Had auditioned for the role of Dracula, and he was on the verge of being cast in the role. That is until Duncan Rager auditioned and delivered a performance that frightened writer-director Fred Dekker.
Interesting. I couldn't see Liam Neeson in that role.
Well, he was younger and skinnier back then.
Liam Neeson's still skinny.
He looks a little... No, he was like that young skinny.
Well, yeah, now he's like dad bod skinny.
Good luck. Good luck. Good luck.
You don't remember me? We spoke on the phone 2 days ago. I told you I would find you.
Number 3. Marketing for Monster Squad included 2 wanted posters, one of Dracula and one of the Mummy. The Dracula featured on the poster was not Duncan Rager.
Not a slap in the face.
So who was it?
I don't know, some random guy.
Oh, okay, because that makes sense.
And there were some questionable text on those posters that would not fly today, like most things in the 80s.
Yeah, there were a lot of, pretty much all of the 80s was questionable. Songs, movies, yeah. It was really questionable. Our kids ask questions now when they hear I play the 80s in the car all the time, and they're like, did they really just say, like, I'm turning Japanese? Yes, they did.
Anyway, it is our quest for 5,000 subscribers, and in case you don't know what that is, we are looking to hit the 5,000 subscriber mark with your help. The great nerd boxers that are tuning in to watch our videos every week, whether it's movie reviews or interviews with upcoming artists and filmmakers and stuntmen and just really good people. And on our other shows like 5 Things, where we have various guests from YouTube channels and independent films and a little bit all over the place, it is time for that next step to hit 5,000 subscribers with your help. And it would be cool for you to come and say, hey, look, Nerdbox, I knew them when they were 300 subscribers in December.
Yes.
Of last year.
Yes. So we're only talking 8 months, guys. You've really done a lot for us, and that's why we want to give back to you.
Yes, so every video that has 100 comments and 100 likes not only helps expand who gets to see those videos, but we will give away something exclusive from the movie theaters. It could be posters, it could be a Top Gun button, it could be a coloring book. There are cool things that we have for you. So help us get to that 100 likes and comments in the video. We'll choose a person at random if you are subscribed to the channel, and guess what? We'll send it to you.
You're choosing. I mean, we'll tell you everything that we have, and then you can decide what you want.
With exception to the buttons, the coloring books, and the exclusive Batman comic books for the Batman.
Yeah.
Those are when we hit 2,000 and 3,000.
Yes.
But when we hit 5,000, you get to win this little guy right here, exclusively from the UK, not available or sold here in the United States because it is illegal to get from the UK and sell. So we're giving it away when we hit 5,000 subscribers, and it will be signed with at least 2 signatures by the time we hit 5,000 subscribers. And my wife here said that if we have enough time in between, you'll get 5 signatures.
Possibly. You know, if people that have canceled end up at shows that we go to between now and then. But as of right now, you're guaranteed Matthew Lillard and David Arquette.
As long as those 2 don't cancel like
Would
the other 2.
Stop?
Knock on wood.
Okay, you could just stop. I don't like him. Number 2.
Writer-director Fred Dekker had visited several theaters with co-writer Shane Black the night of the film's release, finding mostly empty theaters. The lack of success led the Monster Squad being pulled from theaters only after 2 weeks. Dekker was heartbroken, and he put the film very far in his personal rear view. It wasn't until 16 years later that he realized the love for the film and the cult status that it had.
Number 1. We end this list on a sad note, but also in memory of actor Brent Chalem, who played Horace.
Hey, fat kid. Good job.
My name is Horace.
10 years after the film's release, he tragically passed away after being sent home from the hospital early while recovering with pneumonia. He was soon rushed back to the hospital because he was struggling to breathe, and in the ER, doctors gave Brent the wrong asthmatic medication, which caused him to slip into a coma and pass away at the age of 22.
Wolfman's got Nards. Come on, come on!
His voice is sampled in Europe, and with DJs on songs on the radio, and it's just, it's a badass line, and he ends up being a badass character. But what comes through is his innocence as Horace.
When I heard about what happened to him, I was really saddened because I think he would have really loved to have been here to see all of this.
Remember to hug your loved ones and cherish every moment you spend with them.
And to the next episode of the Pop 5, see you.
See you.